Something breaks. A pipe starts leaking under the sink. The car won't turn over. A file you needed is suddenly, quietly corrupted. And in the half second where most people feel their stomach drop, you go still. You don't panic. You don't reach for anyone. You just start. You're already moving, already solving before you've decided to. Everyone around you exhales because you're here and you've got it. You always do. People have a word for this. They call you capable, independent, the strong one, the friend who doesn't need anyone, the one who has it all together. It sounds like a compliment, and most of the time it's meant as one. You're the person others come to when their own world breaks. You are, everyone agrees, just better at this. Here's what nobody tells you. For a lot of people who can fix everything, that ability didn't come from confidence. It came from somewhere quieter and a little sadder. The competence is real, but it's wearing a costume, and underneath it isn't always strength. Because there are two different things we keep folding into the same word. One is being able to handle things. The other is being unable to let things be handled by anyone but you. They look identical from the outside. They are not the same. The first is a skill. The second is a kind of grip, a quiet inability to stand in a room where something is broken and simply wait, to let someone else reach for it, to be, even for a moment, the one who needs the help instead of the one who gives it. To see where the grip comes from, it helps to start with a piece of work from 1977. The psychologist Bandura introduced an idea he called self-efficacy. Not general optimism, but the specific belief that you, personally, can handle the thing in front of you. And Bandura found something precise about it. Your sense of efficacy determines how much effort you'll put into a problem and how long you'll keep going before you give up. The stronger the belief, the longer you persist. He also found where that belief is built, mostly through what he called mastery experiences. You handle something hard, you come out the other side, and the belief grows. Now imagine a childhood where you had to handle hard things early, and often, and alone. You'd come out of it with an unusually deep reservoir of, I can deal with this. Not because you're braver than anyone, because you got more practice than most. There's a second piece. Psychologists going back to Elsa Frankel Brunswick in 1949 have studied something called tolerance of ambiguity. How well a person can sit inside a situation that isn't resolved yet without coming apart. Most people, handed a problem with no clear answer, feel the pull toward fast resolution. Make it stop. Make it certain. Now. The fixer learned to stay in that uncomfortable in-between long enough to actually work the problem. They didn't get a calmer nervous system than you. They just got more reps in the discomfort. But under the practice and the patience, there's usually something simpler, and it's the real engine. Somewhere early, help wasn't reliably there. Maybe a parent who couldn't or wouldn't step in. Maybe a house that was quiet in the afternoons, and being helpless in that house wasn't neutral. In some small way, it was unsafe. So a decision got made, far below the level of words. I am never going to be that helpless again. After that, handling everything yourself stops being a preference. It becomes a form of safety. And an unfixed thing out in the world starts to feel like an unfixed thing inside you, which is exactly why you can't quite leave it alone. This is where it gets a little more delicate because it isn't true for everyone. Some people are simply good at things and like being good at them and carry no wound underneath at all. Capable is allowed to just mean capable. The point isn't to go looking for damage inside every strength. It's to notice when the strength has a clenched quality, when you can't put it down, even when you want to. And it helps to zoom out, because this can feel like a private defect, and it usually isn't one. Think about the children who grew up in the 70s and 80s, before anyone hovered. By the mid-1980s, the U.S. Census Bureau counted roughly 2 million American children, aged 5 to 13, coming home from school to no adult at all. A whole cohort let themselves into empty houses, made their own snacks, did their homework in the quiet, and figured out what to do when something went wrong. Nobody designed that as a personality. It was a circumstance, and a circumstance that large stops looking like a personal flaw and starts looking like what it is, a generation, and the ones who came after, quietly trained by their conditions to become their own help. Self-reliance built that way isn't broken. It's an adaptation that worked. So here's the thing to hand yourself. If you're the one who fixes everything, you are not cold and you are not damaged. You are someone who learned early and unusually well how to be your own rescue. That skill is real. It has carried you, and it has almost certainly carried other people too. It deserves respect, not a cure. None of this means you should tear the independence down. It doesn't mean your competence is fake, or that needing no one is a sickness to be fixed. And it doesn't swing the other way either. The answer isn't to white-knuckle every hard thing alone forever, just because you can. Both of those are traps. The independence is yours, and it's worth keeping. But the next time something breaks, the pipe, the car, the file, the bad afternoon, notice the half-second where you go still and start moving. And once in a while, just once in a while, try the other thing. Let it sit unfixed a moment longer than is comfortable, or let someone else reach for it first, not because you can't handle it, you obviously can, but the bravest version of being this capable might not be fixing the thing at all. It might be, finally, letting yourself be helped.